Hello everyone, another maths video for us today. So this week there's only going to be one maths video, okay, as we're nearing to the summer holidays, okay. So what we're going to do first of all is practice counting in tens. Now I've got a couple of games up that we're going to do together. Now hopefully this works and you'll be able to see it. If not, ignore this part of the video and do some practice counting in tens, okay? So let me see if I can share it with you now. Okay, so here we go. So we've got a game, practice counting in tens, okay? So we use 10 sticks to help us count in tens. So if we check here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these sticks are worth 10. Okay, so this is going to help us count in tens. So what we need to decide is how many tens are here. So what might make it a little bit easier is to spread them out. So I'm just going to move them out slightly so then we can start counting them, okay? So now they're all spread out, let's start counting them. So together, let's count in tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So there's 90 tens there. So down here we need to click the number that shows 90. So can you point to the one which you think shows the number 90? Okay, so 90 is 9 tens and 0 ones. So that's our answer. Okay, so we've got another one here. So I'm going to spread them out. Then I'm going to get you to count them and see what you think the answer is. Okay, so off you go. Count how many tens we have on the screen here. Okay, so hopefully you've had enough time. If you haven't, pause the video and carry on counting, okay? So let's count them together. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90 again. So that we know we've just done this answer, haven't we? So we know that it's 90. Okay, so this is an easy peasy one. Can you count how many tens we have on the screen? So there's 1 10, 2 tens. So 2 tens are 20. So 10, 20. Well done. So which number down here shows 20? So the number 20 has 2 tens and 0 ones. Oh, it's done the same one again. Well, this is getting a bit easy peasy, isn't it? So 10, 20 again. Okay, so hopefully this is different. There we go. So count how many tens we have on the screen here and then decide which number it is. Okay, so if you need longer, just pause the video. So let's count together. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Which number down here shows the number 50? Hopefully you've got it right. So 50 has 5 tens and no ones. It has 0 ones. Oh, this is an easy one. So how many tens do I have here? Oscar. Sorry, my cat scratching the sofa. Okay, so easy peasy. I have 1 10 and 1 10 is 10. So out of the numbers that we have down here, which one shows the number 10? So it has 1 10 and 0 ones. Oh, here we go. So it might be easier if we move them around a little bit. Okay, so let's move them around. So 1 there. Spread them out so we can see clearly all the 10s that we have. So if you count them and decide which number, how many 10s you think there are there. Okay, so let's count together. So if you remember, if you need more time, just pause the video. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We have 5 10s and 5 10s are 50. Can you remember which number down here is 50? So it has 5 10s and no 1s. Have you noticed that when we count in 10s, there are never any 1s? Okay, so count those 10s and see how many there are. Okay, ready? So 10, 20, 30, 40. Which number down here shows us the number 40? Lovely, so it's got 4 10s and no 1s. Okay, I think we're going to stop there for now because I've got another video I'd like to show you. Okay, so let me stop showing this one. Okay, so we've got another game to show you, and again, if you haven't been able to see any of this and I've just been talking, skip it on until skip the video on to where I start going through the questions with us. Okay, so duck shootout. Okay, so this game is called Duck Shootout. Now, I would never ever harm a duck, but it's just a game. Okay, so we're going to count in 10, so we're going to practice counting in 10. Okay, so the aim of this game is we have to try and get this target number, and the number there is 40. Okay, so this duck is number 10, so we have to count on and knock down the correct duck, which would be 40. So let's count together. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So I think this is the duck that we need to knock down to get our target number. So let's try. There we go, we got it right. So do you understand the game? Okay, so our target number is 50 and we're starting at 30. Okay, so count on until you reach the duck that would be 50, okay? And point to the duck you think will be knocking down. Oh, sorry, just give me a second. You do that while I do this. Oh, lovely, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so have you counted numbers? What duck do you think we're going to shoot down? Sorry, I had a delivery, a parcel delivery. Okay, so 30. Let's count on. 40. 50. So I think this is the duck we need to knock down. So let's shoot. And we were correct. Okay, so next one. This is a big number. Okay, so this is the number 120. So this shows us the hundreds. This shows us the tens. And this shows us the ones. Okay, so we're looking for 120. So let's count on from 50. What duck do you think we'll need to knock down? Maybe we'll do this one together. Okay, so 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Think we need to knock down this end duck. Hey, there we go. Okay, so that was quite tricky. So we're going to do some questions now, but okay, you keep practicing your tens, counting in 2s, 5s, 10s, okay, as much as you can, because it really helps, okay. So moving on to question time now. So we're going to start off with the year 1 questions like we normally do, okay. So I'm going to share that with us now. Just give me a second. Application, there we go. Okay, so year 1. So our first question is a time question. So it's asking, what time does the clock show? So I'm going to give you a few seconds to decide what time you think it is. And if you can remember what hand tells us which, okay, what hand of that clock helps us to work out what time it is. Okay, so what time do you think it is? Okay, so if we look at the clock, these tell us the hours, okay, so what we need to remember when we're telling the time is what these hands do. These are called hands, okay? They don't look like hands, do they? But they are called hands, okay? So we need to remember what the jobs of each of these do. And they're different. This one's a short one. This one's a long one, okay? So the short hand always tells us the hour, okay? So what number is it pointing to? Okay, so 3. Now the big hand, okay, tells us what minute it's on, okay? But when it's at 12, when it's pointing to the 12, it's a new hour, okay? So it's an o'clock. We say o'clock when it reaches 12, okay? So we don't say 3:12 because that would make no sense and that isn't a time, okay? So we say 3 o'clock. So the little hand tells us the hour, so it's 3, and when the big hand points to the 12, it's a new hour, so we've reached 0 again, so it is o'clock, so it's 3 o'clock, okay. Let's move on to the next question. Coins. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to look at those coins. Can you remember what coins these are? What coins are they? Good. So hopefully you would have remembered that this coin is a 2p coin. Okay. So it's worth 2. Okay. And this little coin here is a penny. And the penny is worth how much? It's worth 1. Okay, so the question is asking us to add the coins up. So it wants to know how much money there is all together. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to try and count these coins up. Now remember, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there are 6 coins, but these coins are not worth 1. They are worth 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so off you go. Count how many you think are there now. How much money do we have all together? Okay, so let's count together now. So I'm going to start on the 2p coins. Now we've been practicing counting in 2s, so I can either say 1, 2, or I can say 2, 4, 6, 8, 8. So I'm on 8 here, but now these aren't 2s anymore, are they? They're 1s. So 8, 9, 10. So there's 10p there altogether. Now, I could count them a different way to double check that we have. So 10p, that's how we would write 10p. Okay, but I can count a different way to check that it is 10p. Okay, so let's go back over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are correct, there is 10p there. Okay, moving on to the next question. Oh, so this question is asking you what number is 6 less than 11. Now, we have to work out what that question is asking us to do to begin with. So, what number is 6 less than 11? What do I mean by less? So, when I ask you what is 6 less than 11, it's asking you to, it's another way of saying 11 take away 6. What's the number that is worth 6 less than 11? Okay, so to work out that question, we need to start on 11. So it's basically 11, our number sentence is 11, take away 6 equals. Okay, so I'm going to put my marker on 11, and I'm going to give you a few seconds to work out what 11 take away 6 is. So remember, use the number line to help you if you need to, and count back. How many? Count back 6. Okay, have you got it? Let's count back together then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is 5. Now, we could do this a different way, and I'm going to show you that way now. If we just look at 6 for a second, what numbers make 6? What are my number bonds to 6? Now, if the Year 2s are watching this, they should know this quickly. We've done a lot of work on this. What are my number bonds to 6? So we've got 3, add 3 equals 6. We have 4, add 2. We've got 2, add 4. And we've also got 5, add 1, and 1, add 5. These are all the numbers, and 6 and 0, that make 6. Okay, sorry with my not so very neat writing here, but it's quite difficult. So, if I look at 11, I could quickly get to a easier number here with 10. So, I'm going to use 5 and 1 to make 6. So if I quickly take away 1, so I've gotten rid of this one now, what have I got left to take away? The 5. Now you should know your number bonds to 10 really quickly. So if you're taking away 5 from 10, you should know that your answer will get you to 5 really quickly. So that might be an easier, quicker way for you to work out 11 take away 6 by making 10 first instead of counting back in ones. Okay, well done. Moving on. So here are our Year 2 questions now, okay? So, put these numbers on the number line. Okay, so let's look at the number line. So it's got 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and you need to add in the numbers 5, 25, 35. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few seconds now. Where do you think we would put these numbers on the number line? Where would they go? Okay, so we should be able to put these numbers on the number line by looking at the numbers that are already there. Okay, so 5, let's take 5 to begin with. Am I going to put 5 up here? Does 5 come after 30? No, it doesn't, does it? Okay, so where is 5 going to go? It's going to go between these two numbers here. It's going to go between 0 and 10 because that's where it belongs, isn't it? But am I going to put 5 here? Do you think that's where 5 goes? We know that 5 is halfway between 0 and 10. It's the middle number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 5 is a middle number. If we look there, from 1 to 10, 0 to 10, 5 is in the middle there. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're putting them in the right place on the number line, because otherwise that 5 would be in the place of where a 3 should go. So if I need to look halfway between 0 and 10 and put in the 5. Okay, 5's done. Okay, so thinking about what we just talked about, where do you think 25 would go? 25 would go. Now, is 25 a bigger number than 20? It is, isn't it? So we wouldn't put it here. 25 is a bigger number than 20 because it's got 5 ones as well as the 2 10s. Okay? So again, it's got a 5 in there, so a 5 would be halfway between the 20 and the 30. Okay, so let's put him on there. So it's about here. 25. Okay, so same again, 35. Where do you think 35 is going to go? Okay, so hopefully you would have got it. It's going to go here on our number line. Okay, lovely. Let's move on. Okay, so it asks, so a bride has 4 red roses and 5 yellow roses in her bouquet of flowers. So it's a group of flowers. Okay. How many roses does she have altogether? So this is an add question. It's asking how many roses does she have altogether? So we know she's got 4 red ones and 5 yellow ones. So how many is that altogether? I'm going to give you a few seconds now. So our number sentence would be 4 add 5 equals. Okay, so what's 4 add 5? You can count on with your fingers if you need to. But if I know 5 add 5 equals 10, 4 is 1 less than this. So 4 add 5 would be 9. Fantastic. Okay, last question. We've done quite well today, moving on quite quickly. Okay, now this one's a tricky one. So listen carefully. If the letter A is the same as 5, can you work out what the letter B equals? So let's have a look at the question. It says 2 add A equals B. Now, we've never looked at a question like that before, but it's easy to work out if you really listen and read what it says. Okay, so 2 add A equals B, and we need to know what B is. Okay, so 2 add A equals B. So it says up here, if the letter A is the same as 5, so A is 5. So I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see if you can work this out, what the answer would be. Okay, So A equals 5. So 2 add A is the same as 2 add 5 equals B. So 2 add 5 equals what? What's 5 add 2 or 2 add 5? 7. So B equals 7. Okay, and that is the end of our lesson today. So well done everybody, and I don't think I'm going to put a maths video up next week. We've got some other ideas for different activities for you to do in the last week before the summer holidays, okay? So keep practicing your maths, keep practicing your 2s, 5s and 10s, and keep practicing adding and taking away numbers, okay? Because that will help you keep learning. Okay, so well done everybody, and bye bye for now.